Welcome to the Copado Architect Corner. Today we're talking about data-driven testing with Copado Robotic Testing using the DataDriver and CSV files. Welcome back to the Copado Architect Corner. We're starting to go deeper and deeper into testing. We're layering on the basics, but we're going to be driving on dynamic tests. You don't want your test scripts filled with fixed data every time. What you want is dynamic data, a list of data that you can run through a series of tests, test, and then verify that the data is there. So in today's video, we're going to walk you through what it takes to take a basic script, not fully fleshed out with all best practices, but a very basic script, and how to add a CSV reading and make it a dynamic test. So let's take a look. So this is the Copado test interface, and there's a test from our past video. What we're going to do is we're going to create a new test job. We're going to create an empty test job, and we'll call it 1.2. Dynamic data. And we're going to create a new job. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the credentials for the environment that we're testing in. So we can go to variables, add a credential. We'll start with the login URL. Here's the login URL, and now I'm going to start adding the additional credentials. Here's a username. And we're going to add the password. So this puts my credentials in a nice secure location available to the test job. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the script. So let's come right here. So from here, I take my dynamic data. I'm going to go into Q Editor. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my script. Now we're still not in full best practices. We're just starting with a simple single file. Instead, we'll be going over best practices in subsequent videos. But in this one, I've got a single file with my script. It's gotten a little bigger. We're going to walk through it in a moment. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to load some test data. So here is a simple CSV that has it has the structure of an account name and phone. It has the Bart Corporation, the Homer Industries, and Lisa Solutions. So 3 sample accounts. And this is a standalone CSV. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this in to our test script. So from here, I'm going to go back, save my changes, and I am going to go to the configuration, and we're going to go to test data. So from here, I'm going to upload a file, choose the file. So I've chosen the account data, and it's analyzing the data. And what I'm going to be able to do is the top one's the header, which has the variables. And you'll see Bart, Homer, and Lisa. And what I'm going to do, this is just 3. For significant testing, you can have much more columns, much more rows. Now we're going to hit next. We're going to upload it into the cloud, so it goes into my cloud account. And now it's showing us whether we can do the select data or all the data. We'll be passing through all the data for a single test. And hit close. So now I've got my file uploaded. In this situation, I'm just going to close. And now we're going to go and look at the script. So let's start taking a look at this script. So we have the basic QForce library. This is the documentation. We have the basic QForce library and string, which we've seen in the past video. But what's new is the new DataDriver library. We're giving it a class name, Test Data API, and we're giving it the name of the CSV. We're doing the suite setup, open the test browser, and the suite teardown to close the browser. Very straightforward things. But here's what's new is we're defining a test template right here, and then we're creating this test case. So this is going to create a test case for each row and allowing it to be annotated in the logs properly. Create account with, and it will display the names. Now we're leaving this section and moving to the keywords. And so we're seeing we have open the test browser. These keywords for those that are programmers could be like reusable methods that we can use. In this particular case, open test browser is the keyword name. What it will do is it will open the browser, authenticate using the stored credentials, and then log it to the console. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to see create account from CSV data. This again is like another method. It's got a documentation. It shows the two parameters, account name and phone. It's going to log to console. It's going to navigate to accounts. This is like making a method call. It's going to create a new account passing in these parameters, just like a method call passing parameters. It's going to verify the account creation. So after it creates the account, it's going to make sure it's there. And then it's going to log it. So all of this right here is what it's going to do once for each row in the CSV. It's going to log, navigate, create, verify, and log. So let's take a look at the rest. Navigate is just going to go to the fixed URL, taking the base URL and going to the account list, which is a clean place to find the new button with a little 8-second sleep. We'll be talking about other video strategies besides fixed sleeps. Then we come down here and we're going to create a new account. So this is going to create the new button using the vision mode. We'll be diving deeper in other videos. It's going to then populate the account name and the phone with a quick 1-second pause, save the account with a 5-second pause. Again, these are strategies for fixed saves. We can be talking about other timing strategies. Down here, we're going to verify. So we're going to verify the account. We're going to wait for it to be loaded. And then what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if the data is showing up on the screen. So this script is starting to grow beyond the basics, but it is dynamic. So from here, I can run the test job in development mode, and we can just let it go, and we can see the results. So what I can now do is go view the runs. I'll see that it passed, and let's take a look at some of the details. So this is showing me that it passed. It shows me the 3 test cases, and you'll notice that using that test case name, it's showing me the duration, and each one is a separate test case. Very powerful there. Now the next thing you can do is you can go into your logs, and you can see what's happening. The browser open, pass, Homer, Lisa, pass. So this is showing me success. Now what we can actually do is go into the sandbox. This is the scratch org that we ran in the script against. We can go to accounts, and we can go to all accounts, and there is the BART Corporation, and you'll see that the details was created, and it was just created by the user that we're using for the testing. So we have BART, we have Homer Industries, and Lisa Solutions. So this is creating the dynamic data inside of our test org. So going back into the script, some key things, we're adding a little bit more setup. The key element is the data driver allows us to do the CSV reading. This is where we're starting to create the template and call the template here. From here, now what we do is you'll see it's creating account from CSV data right here. We can jump down where we're calling that. So this is what's being executed per row. And you see now that instead of one big monolithic test keyword, we're having sub keywords. It's like having a method called sub methods. Create the account, navigates to the accounts, creates the test, verifies, logs, and it can do its cleanup. So this way we're now moving into better separation, and we're starting to add more complexity. So we're starting to increase the complexity and power of our test scripts. This is a very big next step, which is to go dynamic, to be driving against lists of data, 1, 2, 3, or 100 test cases. Being able to feed the data in, confirm that it's there, and be able to do that dynamically. And then we're going to show you in subsequent videos how we can do cleanup. Because if you run this over and over, you can really clutter an org with data. So we're starting to layer the best practices and grow in complexity. Stay tuned and we'll keep showing you more on robotic testing. Thank you for joining Dynamic Data. One CSV to rule them all, one script to run them, And stay tuned for more, and make sure you subscribe and like on the Copado channel. Thank you very much.